Stop asking about the Volkswagen ID.4 Cross. Seriously, because it doesn't exist. At least, not in the way you think it does. There's a lot of confusion about this, but the name everyone is throwing around, the ID.4 Cross, isn't an official car you can buy. The real story for the 2026 Volkswagen ID.4 is actually much more interesting, and it all starts with fixing the biggest problems the old ID.4 used to have. For a while, the ID.4 was a good electric car, but it wasn't exactly exciting. The performance was just okay, and the inside of the car could be really frustrating to use. But for 2026, that all changes because VW is carrying over some massive upgrades from the 2025 model. Let's talk about the biggest deal here, the power. This is the most important update. If you get the ID.4 with the bigger 82 kilowatt-hour battery, you now get a brand new, powerful motor called the APP550. For the rear-wheel drive models, this is a huge deal. The horsepower jumps up to 282, but the really crazy number is the torque, which is the force that pushes you back in your seat when you accelerate. That goes up by a massive 75%. This completely changes how the car feels, making it way quicker and more confident on the road. If you go for the all-wheel drive model, the combined horsepower is now up around 335. So the ID.4 is no longer a slow and steady electric SUV. It finally has the punch to match its looks. The other big fix is on the inside, where you actually use the car every day. First, the screen is now a big 12.9-inch touchscreen, and it runs newer software that's much easier to use. They added a climate control bar that's always visible at the bottom, so you don't have to dig through menus just to turn on the AC. And you know those annoying touch sliders for the volume and temperature that you couldn't see at night? Well, they're finally backlit. It's a small change, but it fixes one of the biggest complaints people had. They also moved the gear selector. It's no longer a weird twisty knob on the driver's display. It's now a normal stalk on the steering column, which is what most people are used to. This also frees up a bit more space in the center console. As for range, it's pretty solid. The rear-wheel drive with the big battery gets you around 291 miles. The all-wheel drive gets about 263. So what about that rugged off-road cross version everyone talks about? Well, that idea comes from a special concept car VW built called the ID.Extreme. This thing was a one-of-a-kind off-road beast. It's important to know this was just a concept and VW has not said they will build it for customers, but it shows what a more extreme ID.4 could look like. The ID.Extreme had a lifted suspension for way more ground clearance. It had 18-inch off-road wheels with aggressive, chunky tires. It had a heavy-duty push bar on the front bumper and aluminum plates underneath to protect everything. Up top, it had a roof rack with a powerful LED light bar built right in. They even boosted the power of the motors to a combined 382 horsepower. It even had a unique driving sound that was played from a speaker in the wheel well. So to wrap it all up, the 2026 ID.4 is a much better car. It's got the power it always needed and an interior that's no longer frustrating to use. And while that super cool off-road ID.Extreme concept is still just a dream for now, the standard ID.4 has finally become the great all-around electric SUV it was meant to be.